everyone, it's Jean from the Inky Studio. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm so happy to have you here, and welcome back for those who've been following for a while. I have a way to make our own ephemera hardware. And what spurred this on is that I plan on doing a vintage Tim Holtzy kind of project. And I have some of his hardware, but I don't have a lot. So I got to thinking, how can I make some of my own? So I have these couple here that I've made. Aren't these cute? And they can be sewn into it or glued into your journal. They're rather thin. They're very lightweight. So they're not, won't weigh your journal down a lot. I think they're really fun looking. These are made from, and you might have guessed, these are the pull tabs from all kinds of cans. Vegetable cans, pet food cans, pop cans. So these are the little pull tabs that you get off. And each pull tab, it seems, is designed just a little differently. A little different size hole, perhaps, a different way that it attaches to the lid. This one here, when I pulled it off, it came off neatly with a little ring around it. No super sharp edges, just a nice little ring. But many of them, you kind of like, you tear it off. And this one here, you might not see it torn too badly, but it's very sharp on the other end. And so when you take these off, please be very careful because you can cut yourself. The lid is probably the most dangerous part. And I usually would hold like a pot holder. I'd hold on to the lid and then just keep gently working back and forth until the attachment got stressed and it would pop off. So a lot of times, so what I did on the raggedy ones that were really sharp on here, I just took some wide-nosed pliers from the jewelry making section and just kept bending it around. I would try to bend it all to the back and have it fold onto itself back here so that the sharp edges would kind of fold over and get away from the top part over here. Now we are going to cover the back, so it can be sharp in the back. It's, that could be raggedy over there. It's not a problem. But I just sort of try to smooth it out. But this is probably is not super necessary, and this particular one doesn't have much of a raggedy edge. Some of it takes up maybe even a quarter of that hole, and I just have to work back till it looks smooth here on this side. But that's just a small detail that is probably not necessary for everybody. It just was for me. So anyways, you just get your little thing ready, and then you have to look around and see what you can find that images that will fit into this hole. I have this one here is actually a freebie from Artie Mays, and it has these really neat miniature vintage photos in here that fit really well. Let me see if I can find one here. This one here, I did this one here with one of those images. Isn't that cool? So that was it's on her freebies page, and I'll link that down below. So that was kind of a fun find. Then this one here are these typewriter key numbers and letters from Digital Collage Club. She has these on her Etsy shop, and there's two different sizes here, the larger and the little smaller one. The larger ones are almost too large, but if you really get in there and look, be careful, you can squeeze them in there, or else you may want to print this out a little bit smaller than what they're here printed on here. But you just look around, and I'm sure you'll find something. Any kind of a small image will fit in there. It doesn't have to be a number or letter, like I say. It can be these photographs, or it can be a mushroom, a butterfly, whatever you'd like to put in there. I have found that the 3/4 inch hole punch is a good rule of thumb, that when I use that, then I'm almost always been assured that it's going to fit inside that hole there. And if you have too big of a hole punch, then it'll start coming up here. Although, hey, you know what? If you had a big hole, maybe that would be a design option. I don't know. But the 3/4 inch hole fit in there pretty well. Then if you want to color your pull tabs, now these pull tabs here are super shiny. These here are more of a dull metal, so for me they were good enough. I didn't really need to alter them any. But I got alcohol inks, a dark brown and sort of a, I think one was called teakwood, one was called ginger. Alcohol inks, I just put them in a little paper plate, wear gloves, and just toss them around. Took my gloved hand and kind of rubbed up the paint on them a little bit. You can use a brush if you want to, a small paint brush, and let them dry. And so they're still shiny, which I probably should have sanded them before I did it, but at least they are colored and they are not that in-your-face gold and bright silver looking. So you can do that in ahead of time. I have not tried rusting them, but I've heard that equal parts of vinegar and hydrogen peroxide will rust metal, and I'm assuming, even though this is aluminum, I don't know, it may not, and it may, I don't know if it'll work on here or not. It might be worth a try. So if you want to color it, then you color it beforehand, and then get a piece of black cardstock or dark brown. I guess any color would work, but I tend to use the darker ones. I think it kind of recedes a little bit better. And then you're going to glue your image onto your cardstock. And you want, don't want to go all the way to the edge, just down a little bit like that. So then you glue on your little image. And then we're going to glue this, well actually, yeah, I'm going to use this one. We're going to glue this on top of here, like so. And this is probably, oh, I don't know, it's a little bit more tricky just because Fabri-Tac is so shiny. But any kind of glue that will glue metal will work. I think E6000 is another option that you could try. Glossy accents will work as well. And I don't know, my glue, I guess it needs to have more something put in it, or acetate or something. It's getting all thick and stringy. Oh, dearie. Gonna have to address that. So you just glue it on top of your figure there. Get in as much as you want. Okay. There. I see a little beard down there. There we go. So I've glued this in like so, and then let it dry fully. So, 5-10 minutes with Fabri-Tac probably, but if you have another kind of glue, it takes longer to dry. I would wait till it was fully dried. Once it's fully dry, you just simply take your scissors and cut around it, and this is a real easy to do because your blade just sort of follows right around that rim of the metal, so it's pretty easy to do. I'll just cut it out like this. Now your little back is all nice and covered up. You can glue this onto something if you wish. Now you can put something here in this hole if you'd like. You don't have to. This here looks, I don't think I'm going to with this one actually. But if you were, and let's say that I wanted to put, this little S in there, I would first of all put in a way that I'm going to attach this. Now, I've been using thread, And actually this is pearl cotton. It is a an embroidery type of floss. You get it in the embroidery section. And it looks like a real thick thread is really what it ends up being. You could use twine. Here on this one I've used twine. You can use string, whatever you'd like to use. And in this case I'm using a needle. Now if you don't have a needle or that will fit your string or whatever you put in it, you can get an awl and a pokey tool or whatever and just make a poke in there with something that's sharp and make a hole and then thread your stuff through it. So we'll just put this through here. So you do need to put this on before you cover up that little hole area there, so you have a way to string it up. And then once I do that, I usually tie a knot just because it seems to keep it in there better. So oops, here we go, tie a knot here. There. So this is really, I've been making quite a few, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them all, but they've been kind of fun. Going around saying, what can I fit in there? So now I've got something else to save besides junk mail. I've got pull tabs to save. So there it is. It's really, really cute. Turned out, just fine the way it is. You can, like I say, you can put something else in that hole if you wish. And dress it up or not. The thing too that you might want to consider doing is not totally necessary, but taking glossy accents and going over it, pouring it in there, because you've got a nice little dish, little divot there to pour it in. This one here on the right has been done with glossy accents. Same from the same digital printout sheet, and so it's real. I don't know if you can really tell on the camera, but there is a little bit more, depth to that. Here's another one that I put glossy accents on her. So it's really kind of up to you what you'd like to do. You can also put in there a button, like I did here. I put a button on that. So you can get other 3D decor things and put in there. You just look around, and I just bet you'll come up with a good selection of stuff to use. These are of course, vintage grungy. They don't appeal to everybody, but if you know somebody who likes that sort of look, that Tim Holtz grungy vintage look, please consider sharing this video so that they can make their own hardware ephemera. I'm sure they would appreciate it. Let me just put these on this sheet of paper here so that they show up a little bit better. And there we go. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have fun with these. We'll talk to you later. Bye.